Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, I'm going to be continuing to read Animorphs number 11, The Forgotten by K.A. Applegate. And as always, this video is not intended for kids. Instead, it is intended for adults who are discovering or rediscovering the joy that is Animorphs. And I'm really sorry that this video is coming out so late, but a little bit of a backstory of why the slight delay for so long. Uh, Last night, I didn't have time to practice because I was getting another fanfic chapter up. Then today, I was like, I decided I was going to practice and then film. But I woke up around like 11 in the morning today, and so when I went and out and did some errands with Rev Resner, and when we got back home, I was sort of in a state of, am I sleepy or hungry? Or am I awake? And I was able to practice, and now I decided I am awake enough to film. A couple hours ago, I was not sure. I took a little nap, didn't really fall asleep, so ta-da! Hope you all had a less chaotic day than me. Time unknown. I woke up. I woke up very suddenly. My head hurt, and the screaming noises didn't help. My back hurt too. I was lying on the ground, on milkweed, on milled, on. I can't read a word. I was trying to put it into like the whole dramatic reading like it was on purpose. No, I got a brain fart. So let's start that over and maybe I can do this. I love it. So early on, I'm messing up. It promises good things. I was lying on the ground, on milled, wet, rotting leaves. Trees towered over me. Insanely tall trees. Ferns dipped down to tickle my face. There was a root or something under my back, which explained the back pain, but I was alive. Kara, 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 fruit, fruit, fruit. I sat up quickly, but that sent a spear of pain through my head. Oh man, I groaned. Then I saw the bug. The bug on my lap. The big, giant, monster bug. I guess it was some kind of beetle. It had yellow and black stripes and something that looked almost like curved antlers. I swear it was 6 inches long, or at least 3 inches. It would have been beautiful if it hadn't been on me. Ah! I yelled and brushed the beetle away. Then I felt the itchy, crawling feeling on my leg. Ants! There were a dozen ants climbing up my right shin. I have been an ant, so you think maybe I have some sympathy for them. Wrong. I slapped at my leg till I was sure they were gone. I climbed to my feet. I felt woozy and confused. Where was I? Where were the others? I looked around. Green everywhere. I mean, everywhere. The visions. I said to no one. I was in a jungle. I knew that for sure. I'd never been in a jungle before, but there was no doubt in my mind. Maybe it was the monkeys and birds screeching at an insane volume all around me in the trees that gave it away. Maybe it was the creepers and vines. Maybe it was a flash of an amazing red and blue bird flitting through the branches. Maybe it was the fact that beetles really shouldn't be as big as that beetle had been. It was jungle, all right. Just like it had been in the weird flashes I'd been experiencing since that afternoon while square dancing. That's what did it, I muttered. It was the square dancing that drove me crazy. I decided to yell for the others. Hey! Hey! Cassie! Marco! It was like my voice had no power. The sound was just swallowed by the trees and ferns and bushes. Okay, get a grip, Jake. Try to remember. You are coming down in the bug fighter. Obviously, you crashed. Duh. So look for the bug fighter. It can't be far away. I glanced around me at the solid wall of green in every direction. The air was steaming with humidity, and the smells of overly sweet flowers and tropical rot made me feel like I was walking past some department store perfume counter. Then I spotted a tree where the top half had been snapped off. I started walking, trying to get a better angle on the broken tree. I saw a second tree, splintered. I began to notice what looked like a tunnel plowed through the dense foliage. A tunnel plowed through the trees and foliage should lead to the bug fighter. Or the blade ship. I reminded myself. Ooh, ah! The jungle was quieting down a little, but there was still some fairly crazy screeching from up in the tall trees. The jungle animals sounded annoyed. Probably they didn't appreciate someone crashing a bug fighter into their home. And they didn't like my looks either. The jungle floor was surprisingly clear. Down at foot level, there wasn't much growing, just dead leaves. But at face level, there were vines and bushes and ferns all slapping me in the face as I pressed on. Suddenly, I came to a clearing, a hole in the canopy where a tree had fallen. Bright sunlight shone down through the gap, and it was as if every species of plant life you could imagine was crowding into that sunny spot. I found myself facing an incredible wall of vegetation, a dozen types of brilliant flowers, mosses so green they didn't seem real, small vines wrapped around bigger vines wrapped around tree trunks. It was the greenest place on earth. There were even plants growing out of the smooth trunks of tall trees. I trudged on, back into the shadows of the forest, and when I looked up, I could no longer see the tunnel through the foliage. That's when I started to get really scared. I was in a jungle. And jungle isn't like forest, where you can usually see for hundreds of feet in any direction. Jungle presses in close around. It's like being buried in green. Grrrk, grrrk, Marco, Rachel! I yelled, feeling the edge of panic. How about Tobias? A voice said in my head. I looked up and saw nothing. Then I noticed him swooping down toward me from the high branches of a tree. Tobias! I yelled. I waved. Of course, he'd already seen me, obviously, but I was massively relieved, so I waved again. The red-tailed hawk body seemed almost bland, boring in the context of this jungle. He landed on a rotting, moss-encrusted log. Tobias! The others? Everyone is alive, he said. It took a while to find everyone, though. I think the bug fighter must have spun around a few times, tearing through the trees. Cassie ended up practically on top of this snake. This extremely large snake. Where are we? I don't know, Tobias said, but I'm pretty sure this ain't home. Come on, follow me. It's not far. I followed Tobias, pushing and shoving and fighting my way through forest that seemed determined to stop me. I was dripping with sweat and gasping in the thick air. Then a clearing. Not a natural clearing, but one created by the crashed bug fighter. Jake! Cassie yelled and ran over to give me a hug. She had a nasty cut on one hand, which she bandaged with strips torn from her t-shirt. You're alive, Marco observed. For now, he added darkly. I told you he'd be okay, Rachel said. The bug fighter was upright, but one whole side looked as if it had been peeled back. You could see right to the inside. The left engine pod was cranked out at a sharp angle. Axe was inside the fighter. He lowered his head to peer at me through the hole in the fighter's side. Prince Jake, I'm glad you're all right. I'm glad I'm all right too, I said. Now, where are we? Where is easy? Cassie said. Rainforest, not Africa, because I've seen monkeys with prehensile tails. You know, tails they can swing by. Most likely we're in Central or South America, either the Costa Rican rainforest or the Amazon rainforest. I'm betting Amazon, Marco said brightly. I'm also taking bets on whether we live long enough for me to collect on bets. I laughed. You're always such an optimist, Marco. I turned back to Cassie. So, Amazon rainforest, huh? Like I said, the question of where we are is fairly easy. Cassie, why do I have the feeling there's something you're not telling me? I asked her. Remember when we were in orbit? Remember how it was night in North America, but the sun was just coming up over the Red Sea? I shrugged. I guess so. Well, after we fired at the blade ship, as we were going down, it was daylight here, over South America. It took me a few seconds to realize what she was talking about. Axe came trotting out of the bug fighter. He wiped his hands on a rag. Thanks to Cassie's observation, it seems pretty clear that when we and the blade ship fired simultaneously and the Dracon beams intersected, we created what we call a Sario Rip. A what? A Sario Rip? What's that? We blew a small hole in space-time and were drawn in through that hole. English, please. I warned. Plain English, please. We were blown through time, Jake. Cassie said, we aren't where we want to be, and we aren't when we want to be. I stared at her. Did we go forward or back? Are we in the past or the future? Yes, Axe said. It's definitely one of those two choices. And that's the end of that chapter. So, yes, folks, that's a little bit of the reveal. This book deals with time travel. So, yay, we have that to look forward to. And this is the first instance of a Sario Rip in the series. Don't worry that if after this book you still have some questions about, Sario Rips, because there at least one other book in the series does deal with them, so you get to experience them all over again in another book. In a slightly different way because, can't repeat the same plot lines like that. Oh god, I was about to say a spoiler there. I think it's very slight that no one that hasn't read the books would get, but yeah, I, I'll I'll cover that when I get to it. But yeah, time travel, and Cassie is like, aha, it's time travel, because she picked up on the setting and rising of the sun, in different parts of the world. And, I can understand why Jake doesn't realize, but it's like when Cassie brings up, brings up that, hey, look, at time's working a little differently, and Axe is talking about space time, and Jake's still like, and Cassie's like, it's time travel, Jake. It's time travel. I love you to death, Jake, but wow, it's time travel. So, from, X's brief description of Isario Rip. Okay, hang on. This is why it's much better if I have a script in front of me, so I seem really intelligent. But anyways, yeah, now we know that the book involves them going forward or backwards in time. We just don't know which one it is, but probably connected to those visions Jake was having. Probably. He was seeing like visions of the future. I did like in this chapter, even though it was a lot of doom and gloom in this chapter, obviously, I do like when Jake's like, God, I want to say country dancing, but god damn. Okay, I was coming up with a great joke and then I forgot everything. Okay, come on. I do like when Jake's like, hey, you know what? This situation is so crazy. It was that square dancing. I started having these visions when I was square dancing, so That's it. Square dancing has driven me crazy. Ah, jeez. I also like the description of the rainforest. Like, it's like this beautiful thing where all these creatures live and it's just awesome. But, if you were just to be tossed there at random, you wouldn't know what the hell to do. And it's like, I just, yeah, he has a good reaction to it. Like, hey, look at amazing things, but holy shit, that beetle. And I do like when he brings up the ant, like, I've been an ant, so, you think I'd be more understanding of ants. When it's like, dude, the Animorph caused everyone to go, nope, 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 never doing social insects again, nope, nope, nope. Until, the termite, because they're like, hey, maybe we're going to have better luck with the termite because we realized what we did wrong with the Animorph, and nope, nope, nope. The Animorph was one of the most terrifying morphs. Why would I think, Jake, darling, why do you think I would think you would love ants? Just because when you morphed them, they were terrifying to you. Why do you think I would think that you would show them any pity? Damn, Jake. Damn, Jake. Jake. So those are my thoughts on the chapter. And for the question for this video, let's see. What would you do if you were suddenly dropped in the middle of a rainforest? Like, what would be your knee-jerk reactions, and which creatures would you be most adamant about avoiding? Myself, spiders. Like, they're probably more dangerous animals in the rainforest, but I'm arachnophobic. I see a giant ass spider, like, nope! Nope, I can't. I'm arachnophobic. I couldn't do any, big spiders. One reason I'm like afraid, if I had the money to go to Australia, if I have the money to basically go anywhere, yeah, that I would not like to go there because spiders. But I did take an Uber one time, and my Uber driver was from Australia, and it seems like some seasons in different parts of Australia, maybe things I could do because less chance of encountering a giant fucking spider. Oh, jeez. So yeah, that's my comment for this video. And please comment below on whatever else you notice. God damn. This is not a good video tonight. This is not a good day. Okay, let me restart that. And if you have anything you notice about the chapter and you want to comment on, please comment down below. Let's start an conversation. I mean, ask me questions about things about this chapter that I didn't comment on. But remember, no major spoilers. I am hoping against hope that people get into Animorphs via these videos. So there are some huge twists and huge turns throughout this book alone that, people shouldn't be spoiled for their first time reading unless they intentionally want to spoil themselves, which sometimes I admit I do. Like the final season of BoJack Horseman, I ended up having to look up the last few episodes before watching because I did like BoJack's relationship with, his sibling Hollyhock. And so, yeah. So I had to sort of prepare myself for that, and I have my own little headcanon, so I can now sleep soundly, and I don't care if it's not canon. I need to sleep. They produce such great content as this. And if you would like your very own copy of Animorphs number 11, The Forgotten by K.A. Applegate, everywhere I post this video, I post a link where you can buy your very own copy of the book. And buying via my links will do three things. One, it will give money to K.A. Applegate, the person who helped create the Animorphs series along with her husband, Michael Grant. And they deserve some money for that, for, scarring me for life, but yeah. And also, it will also show Scholastic that, hey, Animorphs is still a viable property, so you can produce more content for it. Get as many graphic novels as you can, audiobooks, whatever, and maybe take the creator, the creators of Animorphs' thoughts into account when thinking about what to do for the movie. I'm just now hoping that it's going to be on Disney Plus, so I have an excuse not to watch it. Yeah, I don't have Disney Plus. I don't like the company. I do like Disney stuff, but the company that just never got it. So, well, let's save that conversation for never. I don't know if I can get my thoughts down in nice, concise form for it. But anyways, and the third thing that buying via my links will do is I am a member of the Amazon Associates program. So every time you buy via my links, I, get a little payment, a little percentage. So, you want to help, give support, your favorite YouTuber of all time. Yeah, buy via my links. And also, remember to like this video if you love macaws. Red and blue macaws. No, I forgot the names now. I just if you love macaws. Blue and gold macaws, that's it. Blue and gold macaws. I love them. I think those are my favorite. They're just so beautiful. They're so awesome. So yeah, if you like macaws. And also remember to subscribe, because I am not just going to be reading all of Animorphs number 11, The Forgotten by K.A. I don't know what accent took over my voice. It's a demon inside. And I'm not only going to be reading all of Animorphs number 11, The Forgotten by K.A. Applegate. I am also going to be reading the entire Animorphs series, except for Alternamorphs, because fuck those. So, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss a thing. And I hope you all had a good week, that you can relax over the weekend, that you don't get too stressed buying stuff for Christmas or whatever holiday things you're doing. Just don't get stressed out about them. And until next video, goodbye.